Hi, welcome to the Speeding Bulletin. My name is Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com. This is all Superman related news that happened during the week April 9th to April 15th, 2010. Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino in Las Vegas is hosting a Hollywood Legends auction across June 26 and 27, which will include a Superman costume from the movie Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. The auction house says they acquired the costume directly from the construction manager of the film. It includes his cape, bodysuit and tights. Visit juliansauctions.com for more details. In TV news, Peter McDermott has updated our Smallville episode guide with his summary of the most recent Season 9 episode, Checkmate. And Douglas Trumbull and Julian Finn have written their reviews for this same episode, with Julian marking it a pass mark, but just barely, while Doug gave it a 5 out of 5. Upgrade, the 18th episode of Season 9 of Smallville, is scheduled to air tonight at 8 PM on the CW. In this episode, Zod continues to pose as the Blur and asks Lois to investigate one of Tessa's secret labs. An explosion rocks the lab and Lois is rescued by John Corbin, who was the subject of multiple experiments. Look for our episode summary and reviews in the days following this episode. The CW released 18 images from Charade, the 19th episode of Smallville for this season, which is scheduled to air in the US on Friday, April 23rd. The CW also released the official spoiler-filled description for Sacrifice, the 20th episode of this season. In this episode, Tess breaks into Watchtower, triggering an elaborate security system that Chloe installed, ultimately trapping the two women inside. Chloe realizes that the Kandorians are downloading information from the Watchtower server, which prompts her to make a drastic move. This episode is scheduled to air in the US on Friday, April 30th. Fancast.com posted a spoiler regarding Lois Lane, saying, Miss Lane will have a big role in Friday's upgrade, which features the return of Brian Austin Green's Metallo. What to expect? Not only will P-turned-Terminator rescue her at one point, but she will return the favour. Sci-Fi Wire published an article about Smallville in which executive producer Kelly Souders discussed the remainder of Season 9. As for this year's May 14th season finale, she said, "It's going to bring all of our characters on a new playing field as far as relationships go, or their position in the mythology." Smallville executive producer Brian Peterson took time out to do a series of interviews with various media outlets. He told TVGuide.com that the season finale is Clark's moment to shine and take the leadership that we saw a glimmer of in Absolute Justice. Amazon.com are now taking pre-orders for Smallville the complete 9th season on DVD and Blu-ray disc. No cover artwork has been released as yet, and the complete contents regarding bonus material has not been announced either, but we do know that Erica Durance will be providing a commentary for the Idol episode, while Al Septian, Chiri Meyer and Kalen Blue will be doing a commentary for Kandor. Stay tuned for further details as they become available. Superman homepage reviewer James Lance continues reviewing episodes of the 1950s Adventures of Superman TV series. Check out his review of Panic in the Sky, in which Superman has amnesia after saving Earth from being hit by a meteor laced with kryptonite. DC Comics announced that Mark Guggenheim is no longer the new writer of Action Comics. Hugo Award-nominated writer Paul Cornell will join interior artist Pete Woods and cover artist David Finch on Action Comics instead. Paul said, "I'm proud and honoured to be taking on such a historic title. It's particularly great to begin by featuring Lex Luthor, who's always been one of my favourite characters." DC Comics has announced that Superman will be involved in the search through time for Batman. Time Masters Vanishing Point Number 1 launches the search for Batman as Rip Hunter puts together a high-powered band of Time Masters to travel through time in search of the world's greatest detective. But can even the combined might and skill of Superman, Green Lantern and Booster Gold help the Time Master pinpoint where Batman went at the conclusion of Final Crisis? The 6-issue miniseries hits in July from writer-artist Dan Jurgens. The first annual Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo takes place Friday through Sunday at the Lakeside Center at McCormick Place in downtown Chicago. A host of Superman-related celebrities will be in attendance, as will our own Barry Fryman, who will report on the events for the Superman homepage. Superman comics we reviewed this week included Superman Secret Origin number 5, which Neal, Adam and James all reviewed, with Neal and James both giving it a 5 out of 5, while Adam only thought it deserved a 3 out of 5. Ralph Silver reviewed Superman Last Stand of New Krypton number 2, saying, "This title pulls everything together," and he rated it a 5 out of 5. Superman comic shipping this week from April 14th include Action Comics 888, Adventure Comics number 10, available in an alternate cover, and Superman Chronicles Volume 8 trade paperback. A number of Superman-related celebrities are attending the Wizard World convention in Anaheim this month. Michael J. Pollard, best known to Superman fans as the actor who played Mr. Mixius Pitlick in the Superboy TV series, will be there, as will Helen Slater and Ilya Salkind. The Wizard World Anaheim convention is being held across April 16th to 18th at the Anaheim Convention Center. The History of Invulnerability is a stage production about Jerry Siegel, co-creator of Superman, which is written by playwright David Barr Katz. Superman fan Donald J. Wurzelbacher attended a recent performance at Cincinnati's Playhouse in the Park and submitted a review for the Superman homepage. Come by the site now to read what he had to say. The second annual Superhero 5K run is taking place at North Park Lodge in Pittsburgh this Saturday. The event's aim is to drive awareness for child abuse prevention and support organisations that rehabilitate and heal the victims of abuse. Visit superherorun.com for more details. The Superman homepage teamed up with Workman Publishing to give 5 lucky fans a chance to win a DC Comics Superheroes and Villains Fandex Deluxe. The 5 lucky winners have been selected, and they are Tom Flauto, Jeremy Bohr, James Marston, Ramsey Karim and Dan Perez. For everyone else who didn't win, you can order your DC Comics Superheroes and Villains Fandex Deluxe from Amazon.com for its May 1st release. That's what happened in the world of Superman for the week April 9th to April 15th. I'm Steve Younis from SupermanHomepage.com.
Action Comics number 1 sold for $1.5 million. Well, that's interesting. I don't understand it. Not because I don't understand the historical value or supply and demand. It's just I don't get the idea of paying a whole buttload of money for a comic book. I'm glad that, Superman's is valued more than Batman's now. But I've always balked at the idea of paying even $10 for a comic. The idea is that they're kind of simple mediums that are there one week, gone the next, to a degree, like the internet. No one pays big money for old internet articles. Har har. But the point being, the older I get, the more I care less about signatures from creators. The more I care about just being able to see the less I care about signatures, the more I care about being able to just see a story and enjoy a story. To the point of where I'm looking at my collection and I'm like, that's a lot of boxes that I have to cart around every time I move. Maybe I should just get rid of them and, wait for digital copies. Or because I enjoy it the week that I read it, and then I don't read it again. But when I was a kid and I only had 100 comic books, I'd read them all over and over again, so it made sense to save them. But I go to the stores and I see that there's, 14 variant covers of the Green Hornet, and everybody's like, I want one of each cover. And I wonder whatever fed that impulse. It's like this compulsive need to collect everything, and I share that. I mean, I want to see every episode of Smallville. I want to see every episode of Lost. I want to see every episode of this thing that I've joined into, and it's kind of a fanboy disorder / endearment. But the idea that a piece of 30 pages stapled together is worth $1.5 million, and yet we have lots of things that we don't want to give a single dollar for in our lives that really need it. It's just baffling to me, and I don't know if it's a sign of immaturity or maturity that I don't want to treat comics like an investment, but rather a joy. And it sounds more like maturity. But then again, I don't know, I'm crazy. I just gave thumbs up to crazy, didn't I? Wait a minute, I just gave thumbs down to not being, to saying that crazy was... I'll just end the video.